At 3:33 in the morning, Gunnar awoke to whispering sounds. He remained in bed, flat on his back, and waited a few seconds. He heard it again. Is someone calling my name? Is it Narice? He looked over at the empty side of the bed. Where the hell is she? The whispering became more persistent. Gunnar! Gunnar! The next time he heard his name called, it was angry, with an evil grunting laced through it. Gunnar! His heart pounded. He reached over to the drawer of the nightstand and hastily grabbed his loaded pistol. He switched off the safety as he jumped out of bed. Carefully he crept up the stairs, the wooden steps creaking with each fearful footing. His ashen face, wide eyes, and shaking hands reached the top of the landing. Everything was eerily quiet. He stayed frozen. The temperature of the hallway became painfully cold. He shivered. Thunder deafened the silence every few seconds. He pointed his gun in the darkness. Suddenly, his office door right in front of him slowly opened. The rusty hinges squeaked in a long, low pitch. When the door opened fully, the doorknob gently but audibly tapped the wall. The room remained completely dark. The door bobbed an inch or two slowly back and forth like a ship lost at sea. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. The last tap was accompanied by the loudest clap of thunder. It vibrated the upstairs black metal railing, making an unnerving sound. Lightning lit the dark room. Gunnar narrowed his eyes, for he could not believe what he saw. Mesmerized by the sight, he slowly lowered his gun. All the furniture was upside down and glued to the ceiling. His office chair spun in rapid circles, the wheels tapping the light fixture. Although his antique desk dangled on only one leg upside down, the drawers remained shut. The gray file cabinet, sideways on the top left wall, shook as if something lurked within it. Gunnar could hear the files shifting in the drawers. Suddenly, his eyes rested on the cross made of barnwood. It floated upside down in midair, and sitting under it was a pair of glowing red eyes that looked straight at him. Even though Gunnar stood frozen in place, an inexplicable force drew his spirit into the room. The furniture disappeared. He stood in a black void with the cross upside down over his head. The glowing red eyes forced him to look at them. The same throaty evil voice said something in Latin. Then, in English, it said, "Thou be cursed, 666. Thou be mine by thy own fix." Gunnar let out a piercing yell that was drowned out by another clap of thunder. His spirit jerked back to where he stood. He dropped his pistol. It rose from the floor. The barrel pointed briefly in front of his face and then vanished swiftly. The red eyes locked with Gunnar's terrified stare again and moved closer, closer. Gunnar, in absolute horror, turned and ran down the stairs, tripping on a few steps. He caught himself with the railing. When he got down to the foot of the stairs, he looked back. The red eyes were gone. He darted back to the downstairs bedroom, shut and locked the door. He leaned against the door, panting heavily. This had to be a dream. Yeah, that's it. I've had a nightmare. It made me sleepwalk. He knew what would prove that it was just a bad dream. He walked a few confident steps to his nightstand, and there was his proof. His pistol lay in the drawer where he always left it, the safety in place. No one could ever take Gunnar's gun. By the time he splashed water on his face and jumped into bed, he felt confident that this was all Narice's fault. She must have been watching one of those horror movies while I was asleep, and that put ideas in my head. After a few moments, he realized that she was not in the living room before he went to bed. So, no, that was not it. Then, just as quickly, his mind solved the mystery. It was that exotic Greek food she bought as a present. Some gift. More like revenge for hitting her the other day.